All right, in this lecture, let's walk through every line of code. So what's the first line say? All of these are doing the same thing. They're importing from SciKit-Learn, which is our library. They're importing what? Well, they say they're importing data sets. This is where our iris data set is. Right? Metrics. We need to measure how well our model did. That's where that is. SVC, support vectors classifier. Recall everything in SciKit-Learn is a classifier. However, in the real world, we call the model support vector machines. All right. DS, this is simply a variable. It's a var. What are variables? They're just containers. They just hold stuff. That's what he's doing. He's holding our data set so we can use them down here. Datasets.load iris, right? This function is loading what? It's loading the iris from our data set, right? Because here is our data set. Model equals SVC. There it is. We brought it in, so we might as well use it. We're going to use a classifier on our data, all right? Again, variables. These are just containers, container, right? Model fit, we're telling it that we want it to fit our data, right? We've defined the model here. That's the definition, right? We'll call that def. Now we're telling it to use the model we brought in and fit it to our data and our target. All right. Remember, that target thing is the thing we're trying to classify, right? The data is our training data. Print the model. Print this. Print a variable. Well, what are we printing about the model? We're printing additional info. So we've got additional info about our model here. We're going to make some predictions. Expected is equal TS target, right? What is the expected output on the target variable from a model? What's the predicted one? Model.predict, right? The data. Up here, DS data, right? That's what it is. We're just calling that variable again. Print the metrics, right? Remember, we brought metrics in up here. Now it's time to use it. And inside the metrics is this classification report where it predicts these two things, the expected and the predicted outcomes of the model. All right. It's great that in so few lines of code that we can build an end-to-end model that classifies data to the tune of 99% accuracy. All right, now there are some caveats with that. That's not a real world number, right? What you get in these models isn't what you get in the real world, right? That's okay. We're learning, and this is a great way to walk through the entire model. So now you get the end-to-end process of building a model in Python using SciKit-Learn.